Well, hello, friends. Welcome back to Coffee with Kenobi CWK live every Monday night at 7 o'clock p.m. Central Standard Time. I'm your host, Dan Z. Thrilled to be talking Star Wars with each and every one of you. Welcome back, everybody. So nice to see you all. Terry is here. He says, Minta posted, so now I can say hello, everyone. Yeah, usually Minta is the very first one, for sure. Jason is here. Good evening to you, Jason. Ross is excited about some new Funkos. What's going on there with my hair? There we go. Ross is very excited about some Funkos. We're going to talk about that. Blake is back. What's up, Blake? LJ is here. LJ, I knew you wouldn't miss because I know you're a big fan of Star Wars and anime, as is Blake Weaver, and so many of you. We have a great show tonight talking all about Star Wars Visions. Hello, Nicholas. Welcome back to the show, my friend. And Carter is here. Hello, Carter. What is up, buddy? Carter is back. So good to see you, my friend. Definitely been too long. Mary, happy Monday to you. Mason is here piloting my other Facebook account. Hello, Mason. And of course, Minta, this is the way. It's CWK Day. Joseph is on time. Welcome, Joseph. Hello, Jamie. Good to see you, buddy. And Ben had a vision that tonight would be a great show. I see what you did there, buddy. And I think it's going to be a great show tonight as well. Of course, we're talking about our top 5 favorite episodes of Star Wars Visions. Raise your hand if this was a hard one to make the list of, for sure. I'm going to give you some updates on Hasbro and Funko, actually. And then, of course, your comments and questions. But for now, let's take a look at what is brewing in the world of Star Wars this week.
And now, let's see what's brewing in the Star Wars universe this week.
It's so hard to and wonderful and bittersweet to hear Tom Kane there, as many of you are very aware, and I know we've talked about this before, but Tom Kane unfortunately had to retire earlier than he wanted to because some medical issues. He's doing fine, he's healthy, but he's not able to continue his work on voiceover, which is why it's so special that we were able to have him on the show years ago and to get him to record those things for us. He is definitely one of the greats. Be sure to keep Tom Kane and his family in your prayers. Matt, what's up, Matthew? Says, happy Monday. Going to leave early because I haven't seen all the Visions yet. Just want to know when the Visions figures were coming out. Boy, I want to know that too. As soon as I know, you're going to know, buddy. But right now, we're not sure. Blake is here and he says, this top 5. Well, of course, Blake was here. I already said that. But Blake said this top 5 was impossible for him. It was impossible. Yes, it was very hard. In fact, I've looked at my top 5 several times and thinking about how I could tweak it, but I've already got everything posted and ready to go, so, I can't change it now. But what is going to change is we've got even more exciting Star Wars figures. Ben wants to know when Season 2 is going to come out. I want to know that too. Or if there is going to be a Season 2, actually. I guess we'll find out. All right, so as Hasbro has been doing, they're just dropping these great announcements, and within 24 hours, you can do pre-orders. I think most of the pre-orders for these are already sold out, but I'm still going to go over them because they're really nice. This is, of course, from Star Wars Droids, which until recently was a show that was pretty much impossible to take a look at because it was not out anywhere for you to watch on DVD or Blu-ray or streaming. But now, since they're on Disney Plus and have been for a few months, Hasbro has answered the call as part of the 50th anniversary Lucasfilm collectibles. There is the 6-inch Black Series Boba Fett from Star Wars Droids, the series that came out in the mid 80s. It was pretty much the only Star Wars thing we have besides this and Ewoks. But there's the Black Series figure. Now, I do not really collect the Black Series figures too much, but if I did, this will be hard to pass up. And I found myself, because of The Mandalorian and because of how cool the figure was and because I just like the Mandalorian armor. Anyway, I'm finding myself more intrigued again by Boba Fett, which is great. But they have vintage figures too. There's only one Black Series figure from Star Wars Droids, but from the vintage line, which of course is a 3 3/4 inch, the classics, you've got R2-D2 from his animated series of droids. It looks really, really nice. Minta, referring to the Black Series 6-inch Boba Fett, says it looks amazing. Yes, it does. Absolutely. And then Blake, echoing my sentiments, just when I thought I couldn't buy any more Boba Fett figures. I know, man. But the R2 looks good. Someone texted me and said, why are they different paint jobs? Well, again, it's because of Star Wars Droids. Hasbro actually made a very brief line of figures for Star Wars Droids. Most of them were characters that we'd never seen since or before, just on that series. But the recognizable ones from the classic trilogy were R2-D2. Mason likes this one too. Yeah, buddy. I don't know if I remember if I showed you these or not, but they're really nice. There's R2. And there is the man himself, Boba Fett. Yes, that is a great one. I really like the cloth cape. I'm assuming it's cloth, or maybe it's plastic. It looks cloth to me. It's very sharp, and I think the collectible box itself is just really, really cool. So that is the 3 3/4-inch vintage version of Star Wars Droids Boba Fett. I already showed you the Black Series one, but that is the one for the vintage line, 3 3/4-inch, and of course R2-D2's counterpart, C3PO. Again, another really nice looking sculpt. You know, full disclosure, I had all of these in my cart, and then I got rid of most of them just because I thought, well, where am I going to put these? I'm kind of at that place where if I have collectibles, I want them to be seen. I want to be able to look at them. And if I can't display them, I don't want to buy them so I can put them in the attic. So I only kept one. I only kept the Boba Fett one. But now looking at these again, I'm kind of wishing I didn't do that. But what can you do? You may have noticed, and I'll go back a little bit, both on the 3PO, the Boba Fett, and the R2-D2. If you look at the top above each action figure itself, they come with the collectible coins, which was something that happened at the very end of the Star Wars line of Kenner, back when it was called Star Wars Power of the Force. All these figures came with collectible coins. There's the R2, there's a close-up of the 3PO, and there's a close-up of Boba Fett's. Thank you again to Hasbro for sending great resolution pictures and the announcement of this to me so I could share with all of you. Joseph is graciously said, send them to me. I will display them. Thanks, buddy. Minta says, rotate the collection every so often so then you can move them around all the time. You know what? I actually do that. I don't know if you can tell, but I've done a lot of changes to my background as well. Now, these are things that this was just announced today, like just a few hours before we went live. This is RC1138 Boss, the Boss from Star Wars Republic Commando, a great looking figure. Another one from the Star Wars Gaming Greats Black Series line. Very, very nice. They usually send me a bunch of different poses. That's just the one I picked that was the most, I guess, iconic. I'm always marveled at how they're able to pose these things. They look really, really nice. So yeah, that one's cool. I figured, Mason, you get a kick out of that one, buddy, as I expected. Yeah, super cool, my friend. Super cool. All right, then look at the next one. Now we've got, and I haven't been spotlighting Funkos very much lately, but I know Ross and Ian and a lot of you are big Funko fans. And this was actually posted in the CWK Cafe, which is our exclusive Facebook group. But check this out. We've got a Walmart exclusive Frog Lady, a Walmart exclusive Boba Fett without the armor, and then you've got Cobb Vanth and Fennec Shand and Boba Fett. Then you've got the Mandalorian Dark Trooper with Grogu, and it's a glow-in-the-dark Mando from Entertainment Earth, which is really slick. A lot of exclusives on both of these. Ian was excited because the Frog Lady, and that is her name, as far as we know, is showing up there for us. And she looks really cool. There's some more too. Just one more. I really like that bottom right one of Fennec Shand and Boba Fett sitting on Jabba's throne. That's awfully iconic. A coin purse, some pins, and then a Grogu with light and sounds. So some very nice stuff, Ross. I'm guessing, buddy, that you got or pre-ordered all of these. Is that fair to say? Or at least you were at least tempted. How many of you were tempted, by the way? How many of you buy Funko Pops? I mentioned I've got some new stuff. Got my classic figures on display. I had them on display last week. And then right over here is a droid I built. You may have seen on Instagram. I was debating the black, all black or black and orange. And I settled for black and orange. And Mason, you and I made up a name for this droid. And we talked about it on Facebook. I say when I came back from Galaxy's Edge in July. And now I can't remember, was it CWK 2013? Was that the one we decided on? You have to let me know. Ross says, all about the Funko Shop exclusive. Okay, very good. Ross, you've got quite a collection too. You're probably running out of room as well. It's a good problem to have, isn't it? A very good problem to have. Hello, Amber. Welcome back to the program. Ben says he buys more than his wife wishes that he bought. Hey, man, family first. But I understand it's give and take, right? It's an eternal problem that we have. Imagine being Steve Sansweet and having the world's largest collection of Star Wars memorabilia and those kind of challenges that he has. Ross says he needs to figure out the Cobb Vanth chase without the helmet. I know that's going to be hard to find. I mean, hopefully you won't have to resort to eBay, but we'll keep our eyes open for you, Ross. We certainly will. All right, so we're going to do it. We're going to jump into our top 5 for tonight. Again, top 5 episodes of Star Wars Visions. This is the anime series that debuted on Disney Plus last week. Everyone seemed to love it, as I expected. Terry says, watch the last Visions episode late last night, so I couldn't create my list in time. But I'm looking forward to listening to everyone else's. Mason is right. It's a CWK 20. I'm assuming you meant 2013 because that's the year that you were born and that Coffee with Kenobi was created as well. So CWK 2013. I like it. Yep, I got it. Thank you, Mason. I appreciate it, buddy. I knew you'd remember. You have got a great memory. Much better than your dad sometimes, I would say. All right, Jamie says, I was only able to get through 6, so hoping those are the best of the 9. Oh, that's okay. You know what? The list will be here for you, and it'll be malleable. I mean, I have found, as I said at the top of the show, after I created my list, I discovered that I needed to change it a couple different times, and it's difficult. I mean, they range from 13 minutes to 22 to 23 minutes long. There's a lot of great ones. Hopefully you enjoyed the coverage last week that I was able to bring you on Coffee with Kenobi. Thanks again to the generosity of Disney and Lucasfilm for helping me to be a part of that. Daniel's only got 2 left. Well, hey, man, savor them. And you too, Jamie, savor them. They're so cool. They're so great. I love them. I love them. And I talked about it last week. We had our Coffee with Kenobi live, of course. Then I shared with you the press conference I was a part of. And then I also shared with you myself, James, oh my gosh, I keep thinking James Fry. James Burns and Holly Fry, an amalgamation there. And we talked about every single episode. So after you watch all the episodes of Star Wars Visions, be sure to listen to Coffee with Kenobi last week for some detailed review. Okay, number 5 for me is The Ninth Jedi. The Ninth Jedi, if you were listening to the junket that I shared with you on Coffee with Kenobi last week, you found out that the creators basically had 2 ideas, and then Lucasfilm said, hey, you know what? Just put it to a really long episode. You've basically got 2 stories here. Just meld them into one episode, and that's what they did. It's great. I'll try not to spoil too much, but it is so cool, so intense, a wonderful, wonderful twist that you will not expect, and I loved it. I thought it was great. I like the idea of how lightsabers are created in this Star Wars anime version. I think it's really brilliant. Really brilliant. Let's see what everybody else has. Minta's number 5 is Tatooine Rhapsody, a very lighthearted episode that didn't take the canon seriously, and the music was very catchy. I love that music. More on that later. Number 5 for Mary is The Twins. Interesting, Mary. I look forward to hearing why you picked that one. For Nicholas, Tatooine Rhapsody. I love the art style and music on this one. The character designs were great, and I enjoyed them using known characters like Jabba. And I didn't know how that was going to work, but Nicholas, it really worked very, very well. Very well. Jason, number 5, The Elder. I like the Master-Padawan relationship, the Sith versus Jedi conflict, and the lightsaber visuals and sound effects. Weren't they great? Now, if you did hear Coffee with Kenobi last week, and I think a lot of you did, then you're probably going to be able to guess my list, but who knows? Maybe there'll be some surprises. Ross's number 5 is The Village Bride. Okay. Jamie's number 5 is The Twins, like Mary. Blake's number 5 is The Village Bride as well. It's the most whimsical to me, with it rooted on the planet's ancient customs. I love the use of traditional Japanese music, which reminds me, did everybody get a chance to watch the behind-the-scenes making of for all these? They were really good, and they had a lot of context for this. LJ's number 5, Tatooine Rhapsody, a totally unexpected fun story, especially after watching the Duel. It was cool to have Tamira Morrison voice Boba, who knew pop punk music exists in a galaxy far, far away. I know, what a fun surprise. Ben, The Village Bride. I like the way the Jedi were portrayed in the episode as being like this undercover hero. I know, wasn't that cool? Like kind of a hero's journey thing. Daniel, I really love The Ninth Jedi. I could see another episode of that one being created. I feel like every single one of these has a perfect jumping off point. Well, there's one that may not. Well, yeah, I think it could. I think they all could jump off into their own little story. And I said that in the press conference. Everyone could carry its own series all by itself. By the way, Mason's number 5, and all of Mason's are exactly like his dad's. We tied. We tied on these. We love them so much. We love watching them. And Mason's number 5 is the same as mine, The Last Jedi. I'm sorry, The Ninth Jedi. All right, let's go ahead and jump into number 4. Number 4 for me is Tatooine Rhapsody. I did not expect that I was going to love this one as much as I did, but it was the spirit of the way Joseph Gordon-Levitt sang that incredible song. I mean, Mason and I were tapping our toes. We were pumping our fists in the air. We had the best time watching this episode. And the conversion of a microphone into a lightsaber, brilliant. Again, if you had told me 2 weeks ago that that would happen, I'd be like, no, I'm not going to like that one. But I loved it. I thought it was really cool and lighthearted. And as James Byrne said in our review last week, it could easily fit right into the canon and you'd never know the difference. So that's cool. Let's see. Terry, Toby1 brought out the kid I remember I once was. Oh, that's beautiful, Terry. I like that. Minta's number 4, the twins. It reminded me of a reverse Leia and Luke origin story, and the fight sequence was exquisite. Yeah, wasn't it cool how they got rid of that Star Destroyer too? Mary liked the twist of the twins. She thought it was interesting. The dynamic between them, the only thing that took me out a little bit was that one of them being out in space without any suits. Oh, that's true. That was I think of all of them, it was the most exaggerated with physics of any of them. Amber says the duel for hers. Nicholas says number 4, the Village Bride. Despite having never seen any of these previous characters before, you empathize with what was happening. That's true. That is very true. Blake Toby1, I love the colors used in the retro art style. Anyone who's read Astro Boy manga might have found it familiar like I did. Oh, that is a good connection, Blake. I hadn't thought about the Astro Boy connection. That's very good. Jason's number 4, the Ninth Jedi, the lightsabers, the speeder bikes, and the plot twist. Again, a great plot twist. LJ, the Village Bride, stunning visuals, and F was such a cool character. This one had a Studio Ghibli vibe to it, almost like Princess Mononoke. Also, probably the first instance of a Jedi in heels, as my daughter pointed out. Oh, nice. I didn't notice that. Very good. Ross, Lop and Ocho is really intense and had that inner struggle so many Star Wars characters face. I love that one. Expect to hear about that one later. Ben, the twins. I love the idea that just because you came from the dark side of the Force doesn't define your destiny. Yes. There's a lot of stuff about free will and destiny in these. Again, I apologize if I'm repeating myself, but I do explain a lot of this in a lot more detail in Coffee with Kenobi, the episode that came out last Thursday. Mary's number 4, The Village Bride. This story really pulled me in. The illustrations in the story were great. I agree. Jamie's number 4, Ninth Jedi. Love the plot twist. Right, I know. So good. Just unexpected and brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. Okay, let's go ahead and jump into number 3. Number 3 for me was Lop and Ocho, like we were just talking about. It's a fascinating, again, taking some familiar ideas, stuff with found family, and creating a new thing. I said on Coffee with Kenobi that the father in it reminded me of the father from Luca. I thought there's just so many things I like about it. Again, try not to spoil too much. Some great fight sequences. I love what they do with the lore of Star Wars. Excuse me, I'm going to change my lighting a little bit in here. I feel like it's a little too bright in here. Pardon me. But I'd really like that one a lot. Whoops, that's too bright. Even brighter. Sorry, a little juggling on the fly. There we go. I think that'll work. All right, let's see. Terry says the Elders seemed like it could have been canon. Right, yeah, there's a few that really could have been. Even Tatooine Rhapsody perhaps could have been canon too. Minta's number 3, The Ninth Jedi, the story well executed with great characters and a great twist with the lightsaber twist. Yes, a lot of twisting, but yes, I agree with you. Mary's number 3, the Duelist animation was amazing and some unexpected twists really made it interesting. Yes, for sure. You know, I don't think the Duel... No, wait, did the Duel make mine? No, the Duel didn't make my list. That seems kind of crazy. That just shows how good the others were, I guess. Blake's 3, The Ninth Jedi, probably the strongest story-wise with an amazing twist and a fight at the end. I also enjoyed the fact that blade colors reflects who the wielder was on the inside. Yeah, that was a very, very cool one. Nicholas, The Ninth Jedi also, like Blake, he said he loved the concept of the lightsaber color reflecting the will of the user. I especially love the subtle details of the protagonist's lightsaber eventually getting color. Yeah, that was cool. I love that one too. Smart, really smart. Ross is number 3, The Elder. The antagonist was pure evil, and the Jedi-Padawan relationship was very Obi-Wan and Anakin. Yeah, wasn't it? Very much so. Jason's number 3, The Village Bride. Haunting, mysterious, sad, and I love that we got a female lead character. I also liked her yellow lightsaber and combat high heels. Right, like LJ's daughter pointed out. Very good. LJ's number 3, Lop and Ocho. It had me on the edge of my seat. The entire second half, I love the concept of found family keeps showing up. How it keeps showing up in Star Wars, I do too. I think it's a timeless theme that I will never get tired of because a lot of us can really relate to it. Jamie's 3, Tatooine Rhapsody. The funniest scene of all these was when they do a quick cutaway to the original Cantina band just sitting there looking quite annoyed. Oh, I forgot about that. That is a great little part. I love that. So good. Amber's next one is number 3 is Toby 1. Cool. Ben, Lop, and Ocho's 3. It was very deep. They packed so much emotion and struggle into the episode. Yeah, that was a very, very heavy one. Terry agreed. He said he enjoyed the story of family struggle, and it kind of was surprised too. Josh, you're here. What's up, man? He says, quick catch up. The Duel 5, Village Bride 4, Lop and Ocho 3. Lop and Ocho, myself too. All of us, and Mason, of course, because he and I are tied. Everybody really liked Lop and Ocho right in number 3 in the wheelhouse, which is pretty cool. Awesome. All right, let's look at number 2. Number 2 for me is The Elder. Close to my number 1. I love this one so much. I love the relationship between the Master and the Padawan. I like the emphasis of wisdom and age and mortality. I like the design of the Sith ship that the Elder is in. I like the lightsaber duel. I like the twist on how they design their lightsabers themselves. There's a lot to like about this one. It was very cool. Very, very cool. Minta's 2 is The Duel. Giving the feeling of a classic samurai film, the animation was amazing as well as use of colors and grayscales, which gave it a unique style. Yes, it did. For sure. Blake's 2, The Duel. I was freaking out with my friends on Zoom. Yeah, Blake watched with his buddies on Zoom, which I think is great. Incredible art style and fight sequences. We need a Black Series figure or the Transoceans dual wielding katanas. You know what? I hope we get that. I hope that we hear that info from Hasbro. That'd be amazing. Amber said the Ninth Jedi is her number 2. Cool. Mary's number 2, The Elder. Master and Padawan story was so good. You know, I agree. It's my number 2 right there. LJ's number 2, The Ninth Jedi. I need to see this turn into a series. Yes. Incredible storytelling. Like Blake said, the concept of lightsaber colors changing based on the person wielding it was so cool. Yeah, it was brilliant. A brilliant twist. And that's why one of the reasons I like this so much, because it's not canonical. I can just kind of let go of the mythos and let it create its own mythology, unencumbered by anything else. And I think that's why, one of the reasons why I like that so much. Jason's 2, Lop and Ocho. Great animation, colors, and story. And I love the quote, inheritance has nothing to do with blood, or something to that effect. Yeah, that sounds about right. I like that too. Terry's number 2, The Duel. So a good start for the Visions season. I went into this with an open mind. I was not disappointed. I think the Duel starting, I agree with you, Terry. It was crucial that it started with that one because it kind of opened got us ready. It was like a nice refresher for what we're going to see. Jamie says, I'm with Mean to the Duel. The use of color or lack there was a great way to kick off the season, and plus it makes that red lightsaber pop. Josh, Akakiri, first one time that's been brought up. Tragic, but the visuals are outstanding. The wide shots were perfection. I also loved how the lightsabers lagged. Cool effect it was, and the creepiest villain. Ross is number 2, Tatooine Rhapsody. I can't get enough music and stars, and for it to be emo/pop punk that Jabba tapped his tail to made me feel like a kid again. Yep, you're not going to get an argument from me. That one was awesome. Ben's number 2, The Duel. I loved seeing how he collected all the kyber crystals in his coat, almost like he's taking it on himself to single-handedly fight the Sith vibes of Grievous. All right, so very, very soon we're going to be talking with the author of Ronin, the upcoming novel that continues the story of The Duel. And I've read it, and it's going to answer a lot of your questions that we're talking about. I'm not going to say anything else, but you're going to want to listen to this interview, and you're really going to read The Duel. It's so good. So good. So Bulba, the cheating Doug fan. What's up, man? Good to have you. Definitely Tatooine Rhapsody. Seeing Boba Fett and Jabba again was great. Also, this is James. I thought so, James. Good to have you, friend. Good to see you back. Nicholas the Elder, one of the most amazing parts of the episode is the lack of music until the fight happens, which reminded me of Tartakovsky Clone Wars shows. Nicholas says he also liked the dialogue between Master and Apprentice, which reminded him of Obi-Wan and Anakin. Yes, but without there being kind of like tension. But they disagreed. LJ says, side note, daughter's trying to put together a Lop cosplay for Celebration. We'll see how that goes. I like it, and you need to be the dad, LJ. I think that'll be awesome. Awesome. You can still do your Icky Shuffle dance at the Celebration podcast meetup, but still, yes, good idea. So LJ, hopefully you heard LJ. He was on a recent Coffee with Kenobi for sure. All right. It looks like it's time for number one, doesn't it? Number one episode for me of Star Wars Visions is The Village Bride. I don't know what to say that I didn't already say on the Coffee with Kenobi last week, but The Village Bride is almost perfection. The emphasis of nature and spirituality, the beauty of family, of found family, and a hero holding themselves back and telling themselves not to get involved and eventually doing so. Hearing battle droids, a great epic duel at the end. It was beautifully done, beautifully animated. The classic Japanese score with classic Japanese instruments. If you watched the making of, so good. I love The Village Bride. It's great. Plus, we get to see Christopher Sean as a voice in this. Christopher Sean, of course, from Star Wars Resistance. So it's great to see him. So I loved it. I love The Village Bride. It just doesn't get any better than that one for me. All right, Meantime, number one is a tie. First is The Elder, the way to honor the High Republic, as well as how the story was done, and plus Lop and Ocho. I love how they made it clear the family isn't just about blood, and Lop just hopped into my heart. No pun intended. It was a little pun intended, and I'm proud of you. That's good stuff. Nicholas, Toby 1. Excellent artwork and storytelling. Toby 1 reminds me of a traditional anime protagonist placed in the world of Star Wars. His name and design remind me of Tobio from Astro Boy. I agree. And I hadn't thought of that, but Blake said it earlier in the show. Totally nailed it. So good catch, Nicholas. Terry's number one, The Ninth Jedi, again, gave that feeling I had as a kid about how I could have fit in the Star Wars universe. So that's a cool way to look at it, Terry. Amber agrees with me, The Village Bride. Wow, I agree. So good. Jason's number one, The Duel. The use of black and white lightsaber effects and the twist of who the main character is or isn't had a Rogue One Mandalorian feel to it. Very gripping. I know. I can't wait till you read this book. I'm telling you. Number one for Ross, The Duel. Kurosawa embodied in anime form. I totally agree. The story style helped make Star Wars a reality in the mind of George Lucas, and the Sith in heels was wicked, right? Man, what an epic sequence when she pops up in that music, too. Mary's number one, The Ninth Jedi, the family connection, the twist of who was there, the epic fight. Understanding it was actually two different stories that were put together. Yep, pretty cool. And I mentioned that a little bit ago, but you're right, Mary. It's two stories they put together because they just fit so beautifully together. They want it to be one really longer episode. LJ's number one is also The Duel. When I heard about the Visions concept, this was exactly what I wanted to see. From the samurai-inspired stormtroopers to the Ronin as the hero of the story is by far my favorite. A lot like the animated Yojimbo. I even like the Umbrella lightsaber. Can't wait for the novel. It's good, man. You're going to dig it. Blake, Tatooine Rhapsody. It's one that made me smile the most. Showed so much love for everything that makes Tatooine magical to me, and as someone who spent most of his life listening to punk music, it's cool you like that one the most. It was great to hear something influenced by an old school punk band in my favorite franchise. I'm glad you liked it. James says he can't give a top 5 since he's only seen 2 episodes, but number 1 is definitely The Duel. Great episode, and seeing that Doug cameo was great. Also loved how everything was in black and white besides the saber is very clever. It was clever. I agree, man. Meantime's honorable mention is The Village Bride. Give the classic Hayao Miyazaki film feeling. It was well executed. Yes, it was. Josh's number 1 is The Ninth Jedi because the camera movement, the action scenes, the choreography. Plus, how could you not like a thing that introduces tree buckets into Star Wars? Well, there you go. Ross, huge surprise that LJ and I were on the same page. Yeah, not at all, man. Not at all. Brian's number 1, The Ninth Jedi. What a twist. Great storytelling. And I love how The Last Jedi was influenced by the dark side in the room and was brought back to the light. How they use color changing effects of lightsabers to show that change. And it went purple. Yep, Mace Windu vibes for sure. Terry's hoping for the music. James Burns advocated for that on our press conference. I hope that too. Brian also liked The Village Bride, number 1. My son and I were on the edge of our seats watching the episode. Loved the frozen blaster bolt in midair. No problem. Glad to have you. LJ says that he and Ross share a brain. Well, there you go. James is back on his regular account. Make it easier, but I don't want anyone to think that's a troll page. It's just a page I made for fun. No worries, but I appreciate you clarifying, friend. All right, so this one, as well as last week, again, what if? I got so much feedback on the what if episode last week. All of your topics were brilliant, absolutely brilliant, very insightful. This was a hard list. Like Blake said, this was a hard list. It was amazing that Mason and I tied. Mason's 1 through 5 is exactly like mine. We had some good debate and conversation about it, and it may change later. Ben has revealed that LJ and Ross are Tarek and Sarah. Well, there you go. The Sith twins themselves. I knew it. All right, well, let's look at next week. Next week's top 5. I mean, we keep getting lots of great stuff. So, hey, next week, this Friday is the premiere of Lego Star Wars Terrifying Tales. So next week, we're going to give your top 5 favorite moments from Lego Star Wars Terrifying Tales a little early. Early for Halloween, but this is the season of Halloween now that September is almost over. So that's going to be next week's top 5, your top 5 moments from Lego Star Wars Terrifying Tales. Josh didn't have time to explain it, but he also loved The Village Bride. My favorite kind of Star Wars is spiritual at its core, and I really got that from The Village Bride. I did too, which is why I love that one so much. And this isn't the end of talking about. It isn't the end of talking about Star Wars Visions, by the way. We just wanted to jump to it, and Lucasfilm and Disney keep giving us great stuff to talk about. So next week we'll be talking Lego. It'll be a little bit of a shift in tone, but will equally be fun. All right, this is your chance. Let's jump into Ask Dan Z. Hey, all right. So if you want to talk more about Star Wars Visions, talk to me about podcasting, Star Wars, or anything I'm allowed to talk about, I'm happy to do so. This week is an exciting week. Shameless plug, but my birthday is coming up. My birthday is this Thursday. You know, some people are like birthday shy or just like don't want attention. I love it. I'm not ashamed. My wife and my family will tell you I love my birthday. I think it's a lot of fun. So this Thursday, happy birthday to me. So it's going to be fun. And I'll get to watch the Lego Star Wars thing the next day. So that's a good little birthday present for sure. Ben, speaking of Lego, does anyone know if they're doing a Clone Wars Rogue One solo in the upcoming Skywalker saga? You know, I don't know. I kind of got the impression from the description and the trailers that it's only the Skywalker saga, but I hope we get more stuff. That would be nice. Is Visions canon? James says. When I saw in the Tatooine episode, it's canon. It's not canonical. They haven't said that, but it could easily fit into canon. It could easily do that. Ross says there are 10 Visions episodes with the Browns have had 10 sacks. Really? Really, Ross? Boo. Wait, let me see if I can find a boo. I don't really have a boo, but I'll have to make something silly to distract myself. Yeah. 1.1 yards from scrimmage, the worst in the century versus Chicago Bears, second worst in the century. It was pretty rough, man. It was pretty rough. So thanks for raining on my parade, dude. LJ says, Dan likes attention. Who knew? It's a shock. I know I should have did like a drum roll or a big reveal. I didn't mean to spoil anything. Jason, 2 questions. How can I get my hands on one of those sweet CWK mugs as seen in the What's Brewing segment? And when does the Ronin novel come out? All right, so that's a good question. We actually haven't made those CWK mugs in a while, but if you go to coffeewithkenobi.com/shop, many of our designs that are still up, you can get coffee mugs for. In addition, stay tuned for some other fun surprises in the future as far as that goes. Am I interested in checking out anime outside of Visions now that you've got your toes dipped in it? Blake, you asked me that before. Now I can talk about it. I am. I will say, though, that one of the reasons I like it so much is because it's got the Star Wars stuff, the mysticism. But if there are anime shows that have a lot of stuff like the Ronin or like classical archetypal warriors and heroes that's got a spiritual bent, which of course is one of the reasons I like Star Wars so much. But if there's anime like that, point those my direction because that would be cool. Ben, thanks, buddy. Thursday is going to be my birthday. It's going to be a lot of fun. I appreciate it. Minta says, considering the popularity of Star Wars Visions, do you think they'll make more episodes tying into the current ones? I hope so. I mean, I think it'd be perfect to have a season 2 and have every episode continue on from what we just saw. That'd be great. Now, is that going to happen? I have no idea. I hope so, but that would be wonderful. What's the one Star Wars present you don't have that you would love to get on your birthday? Well, the ultimate present will be the one that I've always wanted to get, which is not feasible or financially practical, but I've always wanted a 1/1 scale Han Solo and Carbonite. I have no idea where I'd put it. Maybe I just move these shells and just put it right there. I don't know. I've always wanted that thing. That would be the ultimate for sure. Carter says, how's the semester going? Hopefully you guys can stay in person for the full semester. So far it's going great, man. We've got our classes going strong, teaching mythology, composition, Brit Lit, and having the best time. Definitely miss having you in class though, buddy. LJ said Justin Tucker had more field goal yards than the Bears had all game. That's true. And, oh, wait. I'm getting a message. I guess the Bears beat the Bengals last week. Does that sound familiar, LJ? You'll notice I took the high road all week. All week, buddy. Amber says, I think they might do it so you have to pay extra for Rogue One and Solo stuff. I hope so, because I would do that. Referring to the Lego, what's going to be in that Lego Skywalker saga. Nicholas says, Starship Yamamoto Star Blazers is a great anime that has Star Wars vibes. Thank you. I will make note of that. Thank you so much. James, what's one Star Wars character that was never made into a 6-inch figure that you'd love to see be made? For me, Sebulba. Oh, Sebulba. That's a great call, James. Huh. A Black Series figure that they never made. I don't know. That's a great question. I'm trying to think. They've made so many of them. I mean, I'd like to see a Black Series of a Tauntaun or something like that. I know they made a Black Series of a Probe Droid, but I think a Tauntaun would be cool. And I don't think they made one. Did they? Feel free to correct me if I'm wrong. Blake, check out Rurouni Kenshin or Samurai Champloo if you want good samurai anime. That is what I like, so I will check that out. Minta's also got an anime. It says My Hero Academia. It's basically like a Marvel series, and the story is amazing. Cool. Ben said, I say you get a rug out of Solo and Carbonite, not the same thing. No, that would be fun. I like it. Bears and Colts are both only one game behind Kansas City. It's still early. Yes, but Ross, do you really think the Bears coach and GM know what they're doing? I don't think so, buddy. I appreciate the optimism, though. Josh loved Visions. Liked it, he said. Everything worked for him. But he says, let's see, not from quality, because the quality is great, just personal preference, and I love it. I love that they didn't say no to anything. Well, I don't know if we can quite confirm that, but I know what you're saying. They were basically open to creative visions. And if you listen to the press release or the press conference that I did last week that I shared last Tuesday, you can hear a lot more about that kind of stuff. And thank you for that birthday wishes. Can anyone explain what this football thing is of which you all speak? Yeah, that's the story for another time. James, what about episode 1, Anakin in a 2-pack that comes with Shmi? Oh, that's good. That's good. There's got to be more stuff with Rebels. I mean, I think there's a ton of different styles of Kanan Jarrus, one of my favorite Star Wars figures that we could certainly see in the Black Series, so that would be a good one, I think. Anybody else have any ideas? Well, in the meantime, this week on CWK Pour Over, we looked at, as we've been doing, episodes 5 and 6 of What If. Had a lot of fun doing those. We've managed to review every episode of What If, so that has been fun to do. And then later this week, you may have seen it earlier as we kicked off the show, but I am going to have an interview with Ian Desher himself, the author of all the William Shakespeare Star Wars series, as well as I Wish I Had a Wookiee and Other Poems for Our Galaxy, which comes out tomorrow. It's a wonderful book. Very, very charming. Just look at the cover. That kind of says it there. Look at that picture of Ian and I from 2015 from Star Wars Celebration Anaheim. We look like we're kids, man. But check us out there. It's the first time I met him, but he and I have become great friends. Really looking forward to having him on the show. Terry, thank you so much for the birthday wishes. Brian says, my brother and father got 10-inch figures of ourselves in Carbonite during Star Wars weekends. Brian, I wish that they would do that again. I've been to so many celebrations. Keep hoping it will show up, and it never has. Ross, thank you for joining us. Have a magical week to you as well. Minta, thank you so much, and may the Force be with you. My least favorite episode of Visions was Toby one. Again, I would highly encourage you, Josh, to listen to my Coffee with Kenobi from last Thursday, where we go into each episode in a lot of detail. I'm a little biased, of course, but I really think that you will certainly enjoy it. So again, next week, join us at 7 o'clock p.m. as we're going to talk about your top 5 favorite moments from the Star Wars Lego Terrifying Tales. It's going to be fun. Minta, thank you so much. I appreciate it. I hope you have a great week as well. Nicholas, thank you, buddy. Jason says, happy birthday and have a great week, friends. It was great to be here with you all. It's great to be here with all of you. I'm looking forward to it next week. I'm already going to start the countdown. Enjoy the rest of your week and be on the lookout this Thursday for my conversation with Ian Desher. Until next time, everybody, have a great night. This is the live podcast you're looking for. We will see you next time.